Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Where's Mr. Pedro? There's Mr. Pedro. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to DYOR Live. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media world. The man in the box next to me is Mr. Pedro Garcia, the crypto chart analyst. Boy, my camera's at a weird angle, making it look like my belly's flopping over my belt. Not a good look there, Thomas. Anyway, good day, everybody. It is November 17th, 2025. You can see from the price of Bitcoin up here, we are in the low 90s right now. Got as low as in the high 93s earlier today. Bitcoin coming down. The theme of the show today, yeah, is 90K next. Is 90K coming soon? Or is this the monthly low? Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Pedro Garcia, Bitcoin, and it's Cinco de Pedro time. Pedro, give us 5 minutes of Bitcoin. What's going on? What happened over the weekend? What's coming up this week?
Excellent. So Bitcoin has actually been, the sell-off on Sunday was really interesting. Literally because it gave the open. Why is this not working, dude?
Yeah, my sound didn't work either. Something didn't work here either. I don't know why I can't hear that. And it's just going. Yeah, everyone can hear you. I just screwed up my sound effects. I tried to have a nice, after I announced Cinco de Pedro, I tried to have a really nice swoosh and a transition from one screen to the other, and it failed miserably and just loaded everybody up with sounds.
No worries. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and just talk about this. So we're watching the market starting to pick up now. On Saturday. I think it was Friday and Sunday. So we saw the market come in. We saw it kind of drop off here. Now, what's really important here is that as the market is starting to make its descent down into this lower area here. Now we've closed below the 200 period moving average. We're seeing the 8 period moving average cross the 400 on the Bitstamp. Now that's actually, this is more of my trading bounces, right? So we talked about that 91.9 area to the 91,700 area. And what's important, like I said here, is that we've seen the 8 period moving average now cross below. We're watching the market start to sell off here. I think it's really important to understand that as this is happening, we want to make sure that, like if you're in your shorts, that we want to see a small bounce at that 91 to that 91.
Oh, hey Pedro. Man, I hope this doesn't happen with your Pedro's having his internet troubles, ladies and gentlemen. He disappeared here. We'll come back to him in just a minute here. He was talking about Bitcoin, but his internet connection dropped again. All right. Anyway, I've got my Bitcoin chart up here. Let's bring back, this is the this chart. All right, so where did we open this week? I always ask that question. We opened this week at about 292. It looks like the price is. That's not quite right. We got 94,695, and we opened up and we went immediately above it. Now trading lower in the weekly open. If you are trying to gauge where the week is going by this Monday morning, good luck with that. We had quite the volatility here. There's even an article up here about analysts predicting a volatile consolidation between 90K and 100K and 110K, with recovery hinging on, this is what I hate to see. It just comes right on and says, recovery of Bitcoin prices hinging on macro data and ETF flows. For ages, we were like, oh, ETFs are good. They're another tool. Do you see how the market's doing? And now analysts are telling us that it's the only thing that's important, seeing how much money is going in and out of them. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. Let's get some comments out there. Please like, share, comment, interact, repost, chat. Just do it. Let me bring up the X feed also. Chat. See if I can repost that for you X viewers. Thanks to everyone that's already watched us on X. Really appreciate it. Drop this one on X. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Pedro seems to be back now.
Excellent.
Senor Pedro, are you there?
Yep. Can you hear me?
I can. Your internet connection has returned.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a completely new system. I mean, I've called them now multiple times, and I wish I had the money to be able to run my own hot network. Dude. Like literally,
well,
like
someday soon you will, Pedro. You'll be like, that's it. Building my own network.
Honestly, I wonder if I wish what's it called? Elon Musk's system. Anyways, it doesn't matter. All right, let's focus here real quick, so I can go over this. I've got a few minutes with you guys. I want to give you a heads up so you know. So we're watching this market starting to see a sell-off. Now, we saw it kind of go up, but if you look at the weekly chart, right, we put in a okay supply wick here, right? And so this is one of those ones that if we're starting to see it come down, you can see here coming down to this lower level. We've talked about it hitting that 85 area, 84 area to that 75 area. This is really where I'm gauging this market going down to, if we do start to pick up. Now, the reason why I bring that 91 to 85 area is because we have a monthly 20 period moving average. And if you look at our month, and if we look at the 8 on the the 3-month candle or the 3-month chart here, you can see that we might find support at this area. So this is why I'm giving a leeway to that 85 area down to that 74 area. Now, it's really important to understand that as we're coming into this area, you want to see big candles coming in. Remember how I always talk about that? It's all about the setup, right? Setup is the most important thing in a trade. We want to see it come down into this area with big red candles, huge sell-off candles if this thing's going to continue up. And so I don't like seeing these small little kind of candles just push its way down. I want to see big candles coming down into these lower levels, blowing through those demand zone, basically making it easier for it to continue up once it turns around. So it's going to be really important to sit there and see that. We potentially have already put in the supply wick. I don't think it has yet, but potentially we have, because it's a decent sized supply wick, right? If you look at this here, it's not like one of these supply wicks where it's just, a few hundred points. It's a couple thousand points. It went from 96 all the way to 94,000. So it's one of those ones that I want to look at to say it's a decent one. We came down, pulled stops at the lower weekly level here. You can see here we came down and we hit that liquidity area, which is right here. So for me, that's why I'm like iffy, because this is the previous week right here. And so got this little area right here as well at that 93 area. So you've got a few liquidity areas here that we want to just be paying attention to. Let me go and switch that up.
Pedro, that's the weekly chart you have up there, right?
Yes. This is the weekly chart. These guys are hilarious. It's I feel like I'm in the military again. All right. I swear, bro, traders are like warriors, man. Like, just straight up, like. Anyways, okay, let's jump back here real quick. You can see here we're coming down. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, everybody, as you should do, please share this with your trading group. Pedro is obviously referencing a group of traders he's chatting with. If you're chatting with some, drop the link to our show there and bring on some new viewers. We'd really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's funny. One of the guys actually is watching because I told him what we do, and he's like, that SHIT is gonna go to the floor. With some other explicit comments. I'm just like,
well, I got called a crypto bro and dismissed, outright dismissed,
really?
basically as an educated human, and as you might suspect, it was by the kind of the older white liberal crowd, who just anyone that's connected to crypto, they just call crypto bro. You're obviously an idiot, Ponzi scheme type stuff, and as I pointed out in a tweet this weekend, Pedro, that 30%, for those people that don't believe in crypto, 30% of your money has disappeared since 2020. 30%. If you had an investment fund of $1 million, not an investment fund, just a fund sitting in the bank that's meant to get you through your old age, that $1 million is now worth $666,000 in raw purchasing power because of inflation and what the government essentially steals from you by printing more money. How about that?
Yeah. It's interesting to see what Powell actually came out this week or last week over the weekend. Basically said there's not going to be a cut. And honestly, that, I hate to say it, even though everything's falling apart or things are falling apart, it's a good thing. I mean, like, that is a good thing.
I would agree with that too.
Problem is, it's going to be tough. I talked about last week that people are going to have to die. Like, you can't keep to what we're doing, right? Like, that's the key. Is everybody needs to live, and I mean that figuratively, but I also kind of mean that physically. Like, we can't keep up with the debt, because the debt itself is nothing but people. A large portion of it is people who are needy, and that's the thing. Like, I believe in that. We've got to figure out another way besides the government stepping in and paying for everything. Like, that's just the reality. And whether that's local churches, that's local people step in, and that's people instead of living off of subsidies. Families are gonna have to step in, and that's what used to happen back in the day, right? Like,
well, it's still, and it's like that in much of the world. World, like the middle generation is the breadwinner, the youngest generation's being raised to be the breadwinner, and the oldest generation is retiring in the back, kind of helping with the kids. They all live in one place. still like that. We farmed off our relatives to Winter Gardens, Florida, and Maple Knoll Retirement Center. So it made everything more expensive and used double the housing, triple the housing.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a side point, Pedro. We only got a few more minutes with you. Let's get back into the cryptos here.
All right, so you can see here that I'm looking at this. We've got a few of these areas. We saw that we came down massive to liquidity area. And now I'm kind of expecting to see us either go up a little over this weekend, over the next couple of days, right? As we see it kind of go back up, get sellers, and then come back down. So I'm expecting potentially a sell-off to that 91 area, 92, 91 area. And then see
when it's over there, we can't really see it.
Always forget.
Just drag the chart over. There you go.
Yes, you can see here that I would expect to see kind of come down, hit this area, come back up, and then continue down something like this, and then come up back down into this lower area. So this is what I'm expecting over this week. Ultimately, this area right here is that 87. I kind of expect us to kind of get down close to that area by the end of the week. I hope I am wrong. I hope we don't get down there. I hope that we find support at these levels here, because I know there are a lot of people that are hurting, but there is a lot of liquidity down at this level and down at these level, and that's where the institutions want to pick up their positions, right? And ultimately, I think ultimately we're headed down into that 75 area here, where we'll probably consolidate and then push back up. Are we in a? Somebody hit me up and said, "Are we in a bear market?" Yes, I mean, we are in a bear market technically. Did we not get a bull run comparatively? I think it's going to be a little bit different because the institutions are involved. I think they will let a rally hit hard though, or people are going to get dissuaded to not buy crypto. They need to have that base that comes in and buys crypto because, well, they need somebody to sell off to.
Right.
So it's going to be really interesting to see if they do allow that, but I think they will. I do think they will.
Pedro, I've got a question for you about Bitcoin and talking about our concept of opening the month going one direction, finishing the month going another direction. I'm going to bring up my screen here. At the beginning of the month, you can see we went down right off the bat, and then the second week of the month we kind of consolidated and went up a little bit and then finished down. And then last week, the third week of the month, or this is the third week of the month, I'm sorry, we are down. And so this week, in my general theory of trying to figure out how the month is going, is programmed to be a down week. We're seeing it. The price is down. You're talking about it breaking under 90,000 into the high 80s, that type of stuff, or even potentially lower, where as you said, the institutions got their orders placed. But that leaves us with the last week of the month still, in order for the L of adage to be correct, down at the beginning, up at the end. Is it still possible? Well, obviously everything is possible in the markets, but is it still within the possible plan or likelihood that this week, all the downness you want, but next week we see a reason for it to return to higher levels and finish the month on a nice up? Not necessarily going to new highs or anything like crazy like that, but just to turn around and say, all right, we've had plenty of down this month. Let's finish November with a strong gain. Is that in the cards, or is this just like another 2 to 4 weeks of probably down and or consolidating?
I think it could be both, and I hate to say that and be extremely vague there. But again, this is all depending on were they able to get their positions in, right? Enough of their positions to let it go up. And so this is where the art comes in, right? It's not a science. So when I see it coming in, we see seller volume stepping in. You can see this, right? This is them trying to get in at lower levels, right? You can see that happening, and they're going to where liquidity areas. You can see that they're absorbing those liquidity areas. So from a weekly standpoint over a monthly period, are they going to just drop this market hard and then see it go up? That's what we would need to see ultimately, right? If we're going to see that sell off at the beginning of the month and a rally at the end of the month, we need to see them big sellers, big candles coming in. And so
Right.
ultimately it's kind of a wait and see in a sense, right? Like it's not clear cut here. This is simply.
All right, so we'll wait. We'll see how this week kind of shapes up here, with hitting those lower levels and hitting the liquidity before we can honestly contemplate that the final week of the month would follow the plan of going up for Bitcoin and or the entire market in general.
Absolutely. Also, I want to point out that I'm still looking at MSTR, which is MicroStrategies. It's come down to kind of the area that I've been kind of waiting for. And so I'm looking at that 200, 204 down to that 144 area. And again, I'm looking to play this off of MSTY, which we talked about last week. MSTY, which is basically yield max ETF. And I want to see it once we maybe hopefully if this even come down even further to that $5 mark, $4 mark would be
for those that don't understand it, the MSTY Yield Max, which I have on the pricing graphic over here, is an ETF fund that trades options on MicroStrategy as essentially as their main strategy, and that's just too many words using words that begin or contain the word strategy there. In its own thing, and Pedro's taken a liking to that.
Well, it's really because it pays you a good dividend, pays you out a weekly and a monthly dividend, which is, I mean, pretty exaggerated. Like 123 right here. This pricing here was $21, and they gave you literally on a monthly dividend $1.23, right? Boom, you can see here similar price, and you had $1.47, right? Ultimately, they're talking about it. Now, these people I didn't want to buy up here, right? Like I was talking about areas that I potentially look to buy, but I was like, if we could see it come down further, if Bitcoin sells off, this is really where I'm looking to. And they basically now they're at a point where they're paying out a dividend of 60 cents weekly. This one here was 21 cents. This was 19 cents, 16 cents. Last week was 16 cents as well. So they're giving you weekly dividends. And this is kind of going to be a cash cow for me. Kind of just, I may lose my initial, but I should gain a pretty good sizable dividend from that as I find the low here, catching it up is what I'm looking to do for yield max.
Again, do they pay based on shares or pay dividends based on the dollar value of your whole thing?
The dollar value, your whole entire thing. It's really, so if you put in $1,000, you receive, based.
So it's not like stocks where they pay earnings per share. This is a percentage of your.
No. I'm sorry. Earnings per share is what they do. Yeah. So
even if the price goes down, you still get paid.
Yeah. So, but not as, let's say I put $1,000 into the share, right, at $7, right? So that $1,000, at least what I'm going to do, I'm not telling you guys to do it. This is a risky trade. This is what I'm doing. But I'm looking to wait. I'm waiting for Bitcoin to bottom out. Hence, we should see MicroStrategies then bottom out, and then as Bitcoin starts to rally, we'll see MicroStrategies start to rally, and then this is everything based off of MicroStrategies. And so I'm basically having to see both ride parallel, and then from there I want to get in at a low price with this. And so we may see this go up, right? We may see from $7 or $4, potentially $3, climb all the way back up to potentially, $20, $25. And so it then pays you a dividend, right?
Right.
And then on top of that, your income, because they do take money out of that income that you give them, they do buy option strategies where you have to pay a premium, or you have to pay a fee, and then they give you a premium. And so again, it does take away some money out of the actual system itself. But if you catch it at a low price, the upwards push up is a lot more, and so that's what I'm trying to find, that bottom there. See if I can see it at, let's say, $4 or $3, and all of a sudden jumps back up to 15, 19. Well, it's a 5x.
All you need is a good rally in the price of BTC, and that thing will fly upwards.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to do. So, also, I want to.
Where do you buy that? Where can you buy that?
It's just an ETF through Max or
through whatever professional trading firm you would use.
Yeah, MST. Yeah, whatever one you want to use. Again, this is an aggressive and very volatile strategy. What I'm doing here, I do not recommend this for anybody, but it's one of those things that I'm looking at myself. And so MicroStrategies, again, he is either a genius and can see the future, or he's going to hurt a lot of people.
That's the understatement of the year, Pedro. Or he's just going to hurt a lot of people. Price of Bitcoin goes back to 10,000.
Dude, one could only.
Speaking of, I want to bring this up right now while we're talking about that. One of the news articles, Pedro, that was really interesting here. Let me find it here. Here, traders earned 10x their money on fake news that Strategy sold Bitcoin. If you recall, Pedro, this was whether or not Bitcoin or Strategy would sell any of their Bitcoins in 2000 before January 1st, 2026 was on Polymarket. They were on Polymarket, and it was like 3% of the voters or poly people, whatever you call them, said Bitcoin, Strategy will sell Bitcoin. As it turns out, people have been learning how to mess with Polymarket and mess with the world, just like any other gambling market. And so what they did is they loaded up on the Polymarket that they would sell, took out big trades, even moved the market a little bit, and then they set the rumor mill, got their AI bots out there, and flooded Twitter land and the social medias with that they're selling with fake pictures and all this type of stuff. Just taking the internal transfers from one wallet to an exchange and having the title change subtly. And sure enough, the market changed like crazy, and the people made 10x their money. 10x their money. And I guess I traded it. I had it covered up here, but and so now it's not just whether something might happen; it's whether you can make it seem like it happened just to change the market.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like going to a horse race, and before the race is over, everyone tweets that, oh yes, Tom's Surprise won the Kentucky Derby, when the race is still going on, and then people go to the window and cash in, and they pay out based on the rumor, not based on the actual winnings.
Yeah.
It's a strange. It's like a perpetual. It's like the horse race never ends. It's like the poly market and the predictive gambling markets are essentially perpetuals for sports gambling. You can sell them. You can sell. That's the best part. You can take your bet on the Cubs winning the World Series this year on Polymarket, and I can sell it to you. I mean, like, nah, I don't want it. You want to buy it? Sure. So you can sell it from one person to another. You can have secondary markets, tertiary markets, and fake ones, and people just pump up stuff and whatever. I thought that was an interesting story. That since you brought up strategy, that would be a good one.
One last one I want to just kind of go over here. So let's go over Ethereum and BTC or BNB here.
BNB.
Yeah, so Ethereum I'm looking at right now. It's showing still weakness, but we have a few areas here that I'm expecting it to kind of come down to. So there's that 2880 area. If we break that area here and we close below that 400 period moving average, then most likely we're going to come down to that 2117 area. And so that's literally cut in half of what we are at. Saddened I was wrong. We did not continue up above the all-time highs. They literally came through, took people's stops, and then dropped it. And so we're probably going to most likely see this thing continue lower. There are a lot of companies out there that made this, that are making Ethereum a why am I forgetting what it's called?
Treasury?
Treasury, yeah. So right now they're hurting, or they're buying. So
they're hurting, all right. Especially the ones that use leverage to buy it.
Yeah. So, and a lot of those investors there are, I'm wondering if they're going to let this go, right? Or are they going to buy as it's going lower? You can see here that we're definitely seeing sellers starting to step in, right? So if this thing continues lower, we want to see volume stay low, right? If we can see that, that means we should see a rebound down at that 2117 area. Once we come down and tap that, I don't think we'll get back down to the 1500 area that I've marked down here. I think they'll probably tap this area and then push up, just to cause max pain within a lot of those treasury companies. BNB here, you can see we are finding support here at this level, that 913 area. And so I would expect if it does sell off, which I'm expecting it to sell off, is to kind of come down and hit that 836 area to that 807-ish area. So I'm kind of looking for this area here, that 79 or the 792 area to that 836 area as we come back down.
This level that we're at here, right there, where you got those double lines that you're circling, any chance of a bounce off that? Or is it likely to blow through it?
Yeah, it's most likely, because you can see here that we're finding resistance off that 8 period moving average right here. You can see came down, tapped it, came back up, tapped it again. And most likely we're going to see it continue down into these lower levels for BNB. Hence, looking at Aster, right, that we're seeing it come down into these lower levels. Let's move off some of this here real quick. Seeing us kind of come down. If we're hitting that 50 period moving average setting right here, it's looking hot. I want to see it come back down and tap this area here for Aster at that $1 mark. So I'm kind of waiting to see if we come back down to that $1 mark. You can see here that there is a lot of buyers sitting down there. So whoever is holding this is doing a great job down at that 85-cent area. So we'll wait and see. Once it comes back down, and this is where I'm looking for it to really kind of find some buys. Once we come down into this level, this is where I want to see us step in. This is where we'll take on our position and then push back up. This is those areas that I'm waiting for it to pull back and see. That's about it in a nutshell for me. And yeah.
All right. That was the first Cinco de Pedro in a while. Lasted a good 30 minutes though, so that was good. Anyway, no, actually, it wasn't that we broke into all of the different things like that. Interesting about BNB, I've always been suspect of their recent volume. I know Aster's helping pump the volume on BNB, and that. But I'm always in the back of my mind that CZ is lurking. He's lurking, and ready to do something, pump the price. There's even news that he's going to ask for his $4 billion fine that he had to pay back, get a refund. Which meant filing your taxes and say, I'd like a refund of the fine I paid that I got a pardon for. It's a good point. You pay the fine, but you got a pardon, and the pardon means the crime never existed. I think your screen is coming through, Pedro. Sorry, I put you on. That's not you. I don't know where that's coming from here. Do you hear that? I don't even have any idea where that came from. But I put a break to it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Pedro, pretty much all week this week will be, and for the time being, just in the first half hour of the show. Second half hour of the show will be me. Oh, that's why I was running. I had our own feed running next to me here, and it ran an ad. Put that on mute. Anyway, Pedro, thanks for the update on BTC, Aster, and BNB. We'll be looking to follow those. My did BNB head below my theoretical trade on trade waves? That was BNB at 950. My theoretical stop order was 900 on that. So if it tapped 900, we'll have been stopped out. Oh well. Well, I've been in the trade now for more than a week. I mean, I didn't actually take the trade, it's just the trade wave. And we got stopped out of that one. That's all right, that's what stop orders are for. All right, sir. We'll talk tomorrow. Have a good day. Senor Pedro. Ladies and gentlemen, Pedro Garcia, the crypto chart analyst. We will see you tomorrow. Thank you very much, Pedro. Let's turn Mr. Pedro's camera off there. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's do a quick commercial here while I reload the coffee. And I'll be, as I say, actually, I want to make sure I get this right again. I want the sound to come through. And it should now. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back. Stand by on this commercial break. right, everybody, welcome back to DYOR Live here on the DYOR Media Network. My name is Striking, otherwise known as Tom in the real world here. Thanks to Pedro Garcia, the crypto chart analyst, for joining on the first half of the show. I got the second half of the show for you today. As always, good stuff going on, but we're mainly talking about Bitcoin here and the race to 90,000. 90,000, is it coming soon? Is it coming soon? Why, yes, it apparently, according to Mr. Pedro, it is coming soon. Before we get into that, as always, everybody, please join us in helping spread the word about our great show here. I know you're all enthused about that, right? You're like, well, they haven't shown us anything great yet. Your BNB trade got stopped out, and the price of my spot bags is declining. So what good can happen now? Well, as they say, when the fear and greed index gets really bad, that's the time to buy. Let's go over and check out the fear and greed index on the coin market cap here. Fear and greed is at 17. 17 on, I guess let's bring that up over here. Fear and greed is at 17. It hasn't been that low in quite some time. Let's try and change TVs here. No, that's not YouTube chat. Okay. Nope, that's not going to work. Top screen. Nope, that's not working either. Let's go to this one. There we go. 17, ladies and gentlemen. I've seen it as the lowest I think I've ever seen was 10. Yep. I hope you heard that. That's the fiat leaks telling us it's going down further. Let's just go ahead and get a demo trade on. Get rid of that. Oh, as you can hear, price is down to 92.7. Bitcoin on the air, it's just been imploding in price. Bitcoin down 5% today, getting hammered. Still going on. Seems that the fiat leak is about 60 seconds behind actual pricing and stuff like that. But to the crew that runs that website, it's fantastic for just listening to. Getting a vocal or an audio cue into what the market is doing. Oh, let's see here. Let's see where we are with viewership. Thanks everyone watching us on Rumble. Need a couple more of you viewers here in order to get rich reading those Rumble ads. Give me a second here while I change up the thumbnail on the show here. Actually, I don't know how to do it during the show. Remember to like the show here, ladies and gentlemen. It really helps when you like it. There we go. Let's see pictures. Oh, these pictures. Split broadcaster. Change up the thumbnail. Get people people scrolling through the Rumble thing feed to watch. Anyway, as we can see here, Bitcoin rolling downhill, just falling right off the cliff here. We did see a little resurgence earlier, got up to 96,000 this morning. And my demo trade right there had a closeout position at 97,000. I took it at this low right here before the open. And then, of course, just got hammered on it. It's enough of that. Enough of that. Let's get the music going and get here. What do we want to listen to? We just listened to a half hour of yeah. Let's listen to Post Bloom. How about that? Oh, that's why I didn't fix it. I didn't fix the great graphics machine. I got a new graphics machine updated, or the comment machine updated, I should say. So I need to update that. A second while I do that. Let's highlight something there for it. Social stream. One second there, ladies and gentlemen. Should bring up. There we go. Cinco de Pedro. System running slow. Boomity boom boom. All right, let's go look at what the plan was. If you didn't join us at the beginning of the show, the plan for November was this. Very simple plan. The plan. This is the beginning of it. You hear me talk about this a lot. Down at the beginning of the month, up at the end of the month. Does it mean new all-time highs? No, that chart is just drawn big because I drew it big expecting a big run up at the end of the month. This is the third week in November, third week. First month, down, we opened down for the month. This last week, we kind of consolidated a little bit and then finished down. The green arrow really is not correct. That was what we anticipated. It started the whole shift downward about 2 to 3 days before I anticipated it. And for no other reason that the fact that I even got it in the right direction. It was amazing. But the only being off by 2 days or so is something. So now we're seeing, as it predicted, the third week being a big dump down. And my hypothesis there is that in order for there to be a big run up in the last week, doesn't mean it has to go higher than where we dumped off. It can be, this green can be here, or it can be like this. Pedro was talking about the 84,000. We could easily see that. I mean, the way this market's moving today, you could easily see that. So that could be the pattern here. But if it's something that you can predict, once the big liquidity is swept like that, it means a retracement upward is possible and likely. And you can take advantage of that by putting in some orders and taking advantage of that. Back to like there so the chart is readable. And even though the prices are getting hammered, we're still technically in an uptrend. If you look at the higher time frames. That's the smaller chart. If you go, This is still, I guess this is a good chart to look at. I mean, we're still doing exactly what the past three up cycles have done. I don't mean all the way back to the 4 years ago. I just mean this year. You see here in July, the last run up before that hit 108, came back down all the way to 75. That's right. Here we came up to 126. We're back down to 92 and change. Pedro's calling it down a little bit more here to these levels. I think there's going to be buying pressure before that in one of the higher levels that Pedro was talking about, actually right about here. Right about here. We shall see. This area of trying to this part of it, for me trying to figure it out, is still new to me, and I need a lot more experience to figure that out. Where are our diehards today? Crypto Mike, Chuck Jansen, Fire Chicken. We've got Crypto Unicorns here giving us the old whoop whoop. Thank you very much. Pedro is off right now. He was on the beginning part of the show. Let me check the old Telegram room here. I guess I never posted the chat. Wow, where are all the usuals? I didn't post the chat. Let's see if we can. And not only that, but add. Oops, that's the wrong one. Oh, there we go with the more lows. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. I know this is really exciting for you now, people. Let's go over to Fire Chicken and post it in there. As you can hear, the it's just going again. It's a 15-minute chart up. You're now hitting 92.720, and actually it already got down to 97.6. Oh, I am frozen there. Where Fiat Leak is calling it. Envoy is calling him literally on the air. Mr. Vincent from Nigeria, you're calling me, but I'm literally on the air talking to you guys. Pricing coming down to 92.6 now, 92.6. Will we see 90K during this show? Will we see 90K during the show? Interesting. Well, I had some news articles set aside for this part of the show, but I went over two of them with Pedro. In case you missed it, that big rumor that went around with Strategy selling their Bitcoin. It turns out it was a ploy by people to make money on Polymarket. They put out all sorts of fake tweets, fake news, and all that. They took a position on Polymarket saying that Bitcoin would be sold by Strategy before January 1st, 2026. And sure enough, that hit the internet and went like wildfire because they had screen captures as proof of sales. They were just transfers. And they made 10x their money. One of the things Pedro and I talk about all the time is this potential size of the stablecoin market and what people, banks, financial institutions they're not seeing this thing coming. Some people are seeing it coming. And now Mr. Scott Bessent, the U.S. Secretary of Treasury, sees that it's coming, says that he predicts a $3 trillion stablecoin market by 2030. That's in 4 years. 4 years, 2030. $3 trillion. Now remember, the stablecoin market, for them to operate in the U.S. and frankly, much of the organized, non-corrupt mafia world, they have to be backed one-to-one with liquid investments. U.S. Treasuries, cash. Strangely enough, Bitcoin and gold are not allowed to be backers for coins in the U.S. That likely will change in the future, but right now they're like, nope, let's keep this simple. $3 trillion means that if they took that $3 trillion, so let's just say it's divided between Tether and Circle. USDT, USDC. They have to invest that $3 trillion. They won't even be able to spend it fast enough. It's like the movie Brewster's Millions. Can you even spend all this money? They'll have to invest $3 trillion. Where are they going to put a lot of it? U.S. Treasuries, right? They're going to finance our debt. Is that an incentive for the congressman to stop spending? No. Nope. If someone's going to buy the debt, we will keep spending until nobody buys the debt. Imagine that. Let's just say it's 5% on $3 trillion. That means that the U.S. government will be paying the crypto market $150 billion. Is that right? Say 5%. 10% of 3 is 300 billion. And it's half of that. So $150 billion the U.S. government will be paying the crypto market to finance its debt. How about that? How about that for liquidity? And where does Tether and Circle put that money? Into Bitcoin, into gold, into more treasuries, or into all sorts of investment opportunities. I mean, imagine if you had $150 billion to invest every year. Sounds like BlackRock. They have that kind of cash. Actually, they have a lot more cash than that, but it's really unbelievable. And so that outlook is spurring this news article. JP Morgan analysts flip bullish on Circle, citing faster stablecoin growth. JP Morgan analysts upgraded Circle's rating to overweight, meaning buy it and don't look back. Let's look at Circle here if we can find their stock price. Let's see if my stock price API is a little... Oh, there it is. Circle Internet Group. Is that their... Is that their chart? Let's look here. Circle. CRCL. Circle Internet Group to the US dollar. Fake Circle. I don't know how their price is so reliant on the price of Bitcoin, but it tracks it very astutely. All right, here's where Circle went public. They're back down to their IPO price, I might add, after stellar launch, which makes sense. A lot of people made money, and if it's tracking Bitcoin, I mean, it kind of looks like the Bitcoin chart. Circle, ladies and gentlemen, high of 81 in the past day and a half, low of 76. But imagine Circle's market cap, their USDC market cap, Well, let's go look at that. Let's go look at USDC's market cap. 74 billion. But they grew very quickly. They grew very, very quickly, their market cap. Let's see, we can look at their market cap here over the past year. Yeah, a year ago they were at 37 billion. Now they're at 80. In theory, they could have $800 billion in 4 years. It's amazing. I don't think that unless they consolidate their stock into a few owners, I don't think that they'll survive as a company. I mean, a bank or somebody has to buy them. Because if taking $3 trillion out of the regular banking system is not what the bankers want to see at all. Any time go down kicking and screaming. Especially if you can take that USDC and USDT and put it in third-party places that won't give you lend. Oh, the price is just imploding now here. It's just going. Trading well under our weekly open. Well under the weekly open. Anyway, welcome everyone that's joining us. Top of the hour, quick break here. Let's bring up my partner in crime, Mr. Pedro Garcia. Was only on the first half hour of the show today. It will be like that all week. He's got some outside obligations that he has to handle. But he's very generous in giving us the time that he can right now. Where is the feed here? There it is. Just making sure our YouTube feed was working all right. Yep, as you can see, it's working just fine. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, as always, top of the hour here. You're watching DYOR Live here on the DYOR Media Network. Markets are moving and grooving today. The stock markets haven't changed that much. The S&P 500 down 30 points. NASDAQ down 100. Dow Jones down almost 200. The dollar pretty much stable, up just a little bit. Netflix is down. It says it's down 90%. That's got to be a misprint there. It said it's. NFL. Literally, it's telling me that's not. Netflix's stock is down 90%. I cannot think that would be true. NFLX. Let's look at on the great NFLX. Oh, shit. I'm guessing that they did a stock split and that the pricing machine hasn't caught up here yet. Because the great, as you can see, the great graphics machine here. Well, the great graphics machine's not even on. Netflix is $110 a share, down just a little bit. Meanwhile, TradingView is reporting it down. Yeah, they had a stock split. 10-for-1 stock split as of this morning, Netflix. It's really strange because you can't see it on this chart. Actually, maybe I wonder if I turn myself off if you can see it. Maybe if we can get to that screen. No, it's not on the screen. Anyway, right below me here on the trading view, I literally just pressed that button and it doesn't work. As you can see there, okay. As you can see here, trading view is correctly showing a 10-for-1 split. Its pricing, though, first 24 hours has not caught up yet, so it said it was down 90%. I hope there's no one relying on that number on the API. No. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, could you use some extra viewers to read those Rumble ads? Where is everybody today? You know what? I'm going to check the stream. What the stream's running fine. What do you want to bet? I have it on unlisted. Oh, it's on public. Very strange. Where is everybody today? Dana Klassen. Thanks. Sorry I didn't see your comment earlier. A stock split, yes. Took me a while to figure that out. I was like, wait a minute, Netflix trades over $1,000 and TradingView is reporting it at 110, down 90%. I found it out. My brain quickly said, oh wait, if it's down 90% in one day, that's in that 10-for-1 stock split range. Anyway, thanks for watching, Dana. I really appreciate it. This is a modified version. I don't know how long you've been watching here, but modified version of the show today. Pedro and I's schedules have been changing the past few weeks here as we move into the winter. I really appreciate the time, though. Let me know how you found us. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to talking about my plan for Bitcoin. Like I said, that's Netflix. I don't know why I don't just put that as a chart to keep remembering. Well, the good news is we're recovering off those smashing lows this morning. Like I said, the show, is it supposed to be 90,000? Is it incoming soon? The Bitcoin girl walking down the cyberpunk alley saying it's coming soon? Question mark. Is it? Is it coming soon? Pedro says, yes, it is. He gave us some levels down, frankly, all the way down to 75,000 that he said it was coming to. I'm not going to go into those long-term things. What I do want to talk about is just, well, you know what? Now this is the 5-minute chart. This is kind of doing this here, ladies and gentlemen. Lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. A little wedge here, a little dragon-looking thing. Let's see what. Well, we got a little hidden bullish divergence, ladies and gentlemen. Whoop whoop. Thank you to Sam Price for teaching me about hidden bullish divergence. Lower lows up here. I don't know if you can see the RSI thing down here. But higher lows on the RSI. Hidden bullish divergence, which means likely the price is going to rebound from here. That doesn't have anything to do with the overall structure, but just the temporary movement of it. As we can see, it is in a little bit of a flag here. When they form a flag, they have to break out. They can't keep going to infinity like this. Or to negative and zero, whatever. They can't keep going like that. Eventually it has to break out, up or down, or sideways. It just has to come out of that triangle. Which way is it gonna go? Because of the hidden bullish divergence, meaning the lower highs on the RSI, the higher lows. Good Lord, Tom, you can't even speak. Let me turn this footer off so you can see it. I don't even know where the damn footer is anymore. I need a footer off button. All right, so now you can see it right here. You can see from the RSI moving up. So lower lows, I guess, yeah, I kind of drew that right. Anyway, hidden bullish divergence. And so usually that means that, let's turn the footer back on. The likelihood of a breakout is going to do this. Not that. The breakout will do that. And not that. So that's what I'm looking for in the next, we'll say next hour. What's the time frame on this one? By 3:30 or so. This should play out before the close of the day here. We should see this be a big pump or not. I know Pedro's probably listening in the background while he's doing his other work going, Tom, you're leading them astray. Because this easily could also stay in this descending triangle all the way down to 90,000 starting at 5 o'clock or later. Could go down all the way to Pedro's 85,000 as well. We'll see. We gotta watch the volume on the markets. I finally got it tuned into my head that I need to keep watching the volume. For those of you that are watching, thank you. But I'm new at this. Like I said, while I've been in the markets for a long time, a couple of different careers, watching the markets on a day-to-day basis is something I haven't had to do since we had paper charts. That got printed in the morning. And us interns brought them to the trading floor. So I'm still out of practice at being able to see everything that I need to see. And I finally got to the point where I'm always looking at volume. So many times I'd be talking here with Pedro and he's just shaking his head. He's like, man, the volume's decreasing. And if the volume's decreasing, whatever trend you're looking into is about to run out of steam. Yes, Pedro. We'll see how this one shapes out. Shapes up. Descending sharply. Descending sharply with this hidden bullish divergence here, it usually means a very volatile uptrend. Meaning that it could change directions pretty much right away. On a related note for Rumble, ladies and gentlemen, they've been kicking butt for us. We've almost achieved all of our monthly goals as Rumble creators. Pedro and I are... There's not a lot of us, the official Rumble creators. I don't mean just getting a verified badge and streaming on Rumble. I mean, you got a, creator partnership with Rumble. We hit all our goals, except for premium hours, by the middle of the month. By the 15th. It's the first time it's ever happened. Usually we get right to the end of the month and they're like, gotta get the watch hours up. And we're currently killing it. And still a very small channel and small show. We count on viewers like you to help spread the word. And ask questions, make this more interesting. That's why we do this live, so we can have some interaction with everybody. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We do this for you. I know, it's so exciting, right? Let's see, the other news that I had here. This is another great one. This is called How Radicalization on the Internet Will Get You Sent to the Joint. Get you sent to the joint. This man, gonna go to the joint. Why is the footer still off? Why didn't I turn that on? There we go. Going to the joint for sending money to ISIS. Bad plan. Bad plan. Here's a hint. Here's a hint, ladies and gentlemen. Go through your daily life understanding this to be a true statement, what I'm about to say. If someone approaches you on the internet and say, help me send money to terrorist organizations, what are the odds that it's an FBI agent? Can you do more than 100%? Can you do 200%, ladies and gentlemen? More than 200%? No. 5,000%? Yeah. Anyway, man went to send Bitcoin. As the crypto swamp creatures said, what's the best way for the United States government to get Bitcoin? It's to seize it. Right, so this guy sent Bitcoin, who he thought was to ISIS, sent it to the FBI. And he's getting 9 years in the joint for it, in federal prison. That's right. Jabril Pratt pled guilty in July on 2 counts of concealing crypto donations he intended for the Islamic State of Iraq and Al-Sham, according to the statement of the U.S. Attorney's Office. It's headlined by the U.S. Attorney, says Detroit man sentenced after meticulously plotting and secretly sending cryptocurrency to help ISIS isn't true, because he didn't secretly send it to ISIS. He sent it right to the FBI, right to the federal government. Mr. Pratt is the latest traitor who, in his own words, operated in the shadows. U.S. Attorney, yada, 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 will continue to stand guard because he may not be the last. I gotta tell you, the president took the gloves off, as they say. Took the gloves off. And the U.S. Attorney's Office have been going nuts all over the place. In Chicago, we used to joke in Chicago, because that's where I have primarily lived the past 30 years. I've lived all over the world, including here in Kanukistan, where I'm broadcasting from today. Just to be clear, I don't live in Canada. I live and reside in Chicago. My wife lives in Canada. I'm visiting. Over time, the crime rate in Chicago, as we all know, has been going nuts. And on the various, Twitter feeds that follow that, people have been joking. Another person arrested, carjacking. Carjacking can be a federal crime. Another person carjacking with a gun. Carjacking with a gun that's got a switch on it, a Glock with a switch to make it into a machine gun, and like a drum magazine. And the ATF and the FBI were just never prosecuting them. They just wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do it. And finally, I asked somebody, I said, why aren't you prosecuting all these cases? And they said, because we're not doing the arresting. And we really only like to prosecute when we do the arrests. Because if the case gets tossed out or something on a technicality, if the arresting officer for CPD or something like that made a mistake, and then the case gets tossed out, it's not good. Federal prosecutors have to basically maintain a 95% conviction rate, and if they don't, they get fired. Whereas in the city and county, it's like, just do your best, So they don't like to take cases unless they do the arrest. So the Trump administration turned on the floodgates for the budget and said, let's go solve these problems, and it's called Project Safe Neighborhoods. And the amount of gun crimes that federal prosecutors have done in Chicago went from 26 to 340 or something like that. And these are all people that don't go right back out on the street. When Chicago arrests them for shooting a place up, they go immediately right back out on the street because of the no cash bail thing. Unless they're a danger, and for some reason the judges think that they're okay people. They were carrying a gun, shooting people. And then they don't keep them in prison pending trial. And so the Fed's arresting all those people. Crime is plummeting in Chicago because they're arresting the people that are on the streets shooting every day, not letting them out of the joint. They've also arrested and deported the violent criminals that came to us from other countries. I'm not talking about these ICE raids going on now. All you people missed the ones that happened in March, which they came in and basically grabbed all the people that were on active warrants that previous administration wouldn't let us arrest. And crime's been going down a lot because of that, because we're arresting and putting people in jail and not letting them out. And the mayor of Chicago has the guts to get on there and say it's because of his community activity and giving money to these local neighborhood groups, basically bribing people. And that's what's doing it, not the fact that all the criminals are in in federal joint. You don't want to be in the federal joint, ladies and gentlemen. It's there's no early time off or parole. You get 5 years. You got 5 years. Anyway, let's get back to Bitcoin for the balance of the show here. Trading 92.6 now. Let's get the yeah back. Enough of this. Market's still coming down, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, plan for November is this. I keep talking about it because it's one of the only things that I know well. Solana down 4.5%, BNB down 1.6%, XRP down another 2.7%. XRP is going to be under $2 again soon. Ethereum, we're currently in a long at 3,300 on Ethereum. Let's look at the 24-hour low. I think our stop out on that is 2,800. That comes from the trade section here on the trade waves. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah. Pedro's got his ICP planned for $2. That was before it did its recent big boom up. The Ethereum trade is active long at 3,300, so we are obviously losing money in that one. But hold on to that, that'll come back. The BNB trade got stopped out at 900. I need to update that in the chart. What these are, ladies and gentlemen, these trades are trades that Pedro and I go over on the show and what we see happening. And I was looking at the BNB chart, so that's going to come down to the 950 area. And I was correct. Unfortunately, it came down to the 890 area too. Stopped us out at 900. Pedro's got his long order in at Aster at 98 cents. It traded through 98 cents, but Pedro had a clause here. It said long and hold strategy, want demand wicks, not seller wicks. And he didn't get enough demand wicks, so he didn't take the trade. But it did do what he wanted. It did go up. Went up about 20%, but was not what Pedro was looking for. And as in the show, he mentioned today that Aster to come back down into that 98 range, back into it with demand wicks, and he'd look into that trade. Pedro's Meta trade. Let's look at Meta. What's going on with Meta? Go back to the charts here. Meta. Meta at 604. Pedro's trade. Where is Pedro's trade? Pedro's trade is at 580, coming right down into the zone. When he put this trade on, planned for it, it was trading at 755. He said it's going to come down to 580, and I was like, ooh, that's a long way down. Pedro's like, yep, it's got the momentum down, and sure enough, it came 2 weeks ago. Let's see, starting at the beginning of the month, it opened up way down. Must have been after earnings or something. I don't know why, but it gapped open 754 to 670. or so. Open 670 at the previous close. 750, it gapped down to 670. And now it's down to 604. So it's likely going to hit Pedro's trade here. It says it right over here in the trade wave. And then he mentioned another one today, which I'm going to update here. Let's see, where is this one? Oh, not again. Let's see. He wanted to buy Strategy. Strategy, we'll just call it, let's see, we'll just say it was a liquidity level. He saw the liquidity down at 204. I'm entering this in our trade wave system here. And let's see, BNB stopped out. Stopped out. The strategy would be a short-term hold. Entry price 204. I don't know what Pedro gave as an exit, so let's just say hold and do the 1-for-1. I'm guessing he's going to say long and hold strategy, want demand wicks, not seller wicks. So let's go ahead and update the trade chart here and see if it queries my API correctly. It did, as you can see here. The BNB trade is changed to stopped out. It's actually up at one point on that trade for a little bit. Didn't sell it because I wanted a 1-to-1 gain on it. Got close to it. Got about 75% of the goal, and didn't pan out. Then the markets retraced. All right, here's the strategy. Is that even the right? It's not the right. Anyway, as you can see here on trade wave trades over here, Pedro taking out a long on strategy. Liquidity level play, meaning that Pedro's identified the liquidity level at the price of 204. And it's a long, see it says long strategy there. And hold, and long and hold strategy want demand wicks, not seller wicks. So if the price is coming down to 204 and it's just seller wicks on top of the candles, no in. But if it's supported by the time frames just before it by demand wicks, like this one right here, demand wick. Pedro would take this trade, like if this was 204 coming down, oh, this is not even the right stock. If there were more wicks on the bottom of the candles than on the top of the candle. Well, you can hear that. Let's go back to the BTC there, see what it's doing. 92.4. A great trade wave. Let's bring that chart back. Let's bring it back. Doing its thing here. 5-minute chart is showing it dropping out down a little steeper here on the. This is going to have to lead to some kind of violent correction upwards at some point. This RSI can't hold out like this much longer. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to refill my coffee and do the old bio break thing. And I'm just by myself here. I'm not with my cohort, Mr. Pedro Garcia. And I was going to go off the air earlier, but I decided to stay and talk about this. Interesting market. Anyway, I'll be right back in 3 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, DYOR Live every day, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Welcome back to the show. Appreciate the time and effort you put into watching this show. How about drop me a comment, let everybody know that you are here and watching. Anyway, my name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking here in the digital media world. We're watching DYOR Live here on the DYOR Media Network. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's your favorite crypto show, just Tom droning on about stuff. Normally my cohort, Mr. Pedro Garcia, is with us, but our schedules are changing for the winter, and this is one of those weeks that it does that. He was on the first half of the show, giving update on Bitcoin, BNB, Aster, a couple other things that he was looking at, and then had to jet off to the real world stuff. As if this isn't the real world anymore. Anyway, as we can see, Bitcoin tanking here. You'll be able to hear the thunder and fire from the Fiat Leak website in the earthquake when it goes down further. 92.4. I was not in any trades right now. I was in a demo trade earlier, which I got stopped out. Actually, I didn't get stopped out. I just closed it. I was just doing a market open ploy and thought at some point earlier the market would correct after its volatile open. And it did, only so briefly. And I didn't sell it because it was a demo trade and I was focused on setting up the show. And so I lost my trade. Once again, proving the point that for me to be a successful trader, I need to concentrate either focus on it and not do anything else if it's a short-term trade, or 2, do some long-term trades so I can multitask. And that's what I've been teaching me. If you've heard me up here over and over again talking about this, you hear me trying to talk about learning longer time frames, looking at the monthly cycle. And if you've listened to us over the past few weeks, few months, starting in August, I said, you know what? I am lacking a big area of my knowledge and journey into getting back into trading. And that was being able to see the longer time frame. So I've practiced that. I practiced in August. We called that month correctly. September was out for personal reasons. I didn't broadcast enough. Didn't get a good outlook on the month. I came back in October and nailed the month almost exactly. But it was a little different because October was a 5-week month, so it didn't go according to plan at the end, but got 4 out of the 5 weeks correct. And then with, no, this is the wrong fucking chart. What the crack of the KuCoin? What is it? Yeah, this one, the KuCoin chart is this one. We've been going over it here, and so far in November, been getting November correct. I shouldn't say correct. That's the wrong thing. That sounds like I know what I'm doing here. All I was doing is applying the strategy of if the month opens lower on a sell-off, which it did, the first week sold off, then at the end of the month, it's likely that there would be a rise in price, a pump, because it does the opposite at the end of your time frame. It's just statistics and some sort of probability. It's not guaranteed. And then the course is to try and figure out, if you know the first week and you know the last week, how it plays out in the middle. And it's playing out right into it's the 3rd week of November, and it's playing out right here. So you can see this red arrow here is playing out, which is a good thing. We've got a good crowd watching now. Thanks to everyone that's joined us. Really appreciate all those shares that you've done, Pedro. Get the viewership up, which will allow me to do it. One of my most favorite things. No, my most favorite thing is talking to Pedro about this stuff. But one of my most favorite things is reading the ads, because it makes me feel like a Ed Sullivan or something like that, where you're just in the middle of talking and then say, "Hey, have you used Tide detergent?" Let's see who's got. Well, we're gonna have to go with the old standby here. That's right. Gotta keep the sponsors happy, ladies and gentlemen, and that's why on the commercial break, I went and refilled my coffee. Have you still not tried 1775 coffee? Well, now's your shot. Yes, it's just watery. Now's your shot. The 1775 starter kit just dropped. Only 1,000 units. That's right, and they're selling quickly. You got to get in and get one. When you order from 1775 coffee, it comes with 3 things here. You're getting the bold dark roast coffee that hits hard, smooth, medium roast, and you're getting the Vitality mushroom coffee for clean energy and laser focus. No crash. It's all single origin, small batch, toxin free and mold free. Plus, you're also getting a gold spoon clip, because why, ladies and gentlemen? That's right, because freedom isn't served with plastic. No, it is not. Getting a frother strong enough to stir up your coffee and your mother-in-law's opinions, especially her political ones. You're getting a black 1775 tumbler, $170 worth of coffee and gear, yours for $99. This is for the ones who've been watching 1775 blow up right here on DYOR Media and Rumble. Wondering if it's actually worth it? Spoiler, it is. Go to 1775coffee.com/studio and grab your starter kit before they're gone. Bold beans, clean fuel, and a morning routine that stands for something just like Rumble does. Ladies and gentlemen, over here, there's a QR code. If you're watching on a big screen TV, hold up your cell phone and pop that QR code there. Put your eyeballs on our sponsors. It really helps out when you visit our sponsors and perhaps even buy what they're offering. And we have had people buy 1775 coffee as a result of our advertising. Can you believe that? Yes, you can. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you're watching on the phone or tablet, there's a link down in the chat. And if you're watching on the replay, first of all, thank you very much. Second of all, in the description, there's a link, 1775coffee.com/studio. Grab your starter kit before they're gone. Thanks to 1775coffee.com for sponsoring this segment of DYOR Live. I just enjoy doing that. I know probably bores the tears out of many of you. And even probably lost some viewers there. But we earned our monies. Gotta earn the monies. Yeah, this is the first time I'm restreaming it here over my shoulder. Just because I'm by myself. If Pedro's on, he's also helping me. Because he'll be streaming and say, hey, stream's not working or something like that. But anyway, I'll spare everybody that surveillance back. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. This one. The AI music channels on YouTube are just exploding. I mean, it's like, first of all, the entirety of the country music scene is being blown apart by AI. Because AI, it's really easy for AI to make country music songs because it's the same. It's a very repetitive, predictable beat, the 3/2 beat or whatever they call it. And the lyrics are all literally. I heard a song the other day that was AI. It said, "Truck broke down, dog ran away, woman left me." It was like the cliche song. It was AI. Another one, a friend said, "Hey, this is my nephew or somebody made this song," and it's full band country music style, even a twang guy singing, blah 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 blah. All AI. The whole country music scene's about to implode because nobody's streaming the regular songs. There's so much AI being uploaded that there's only so many royalties to be, paid out. And if prior to AI music, it was 100% was going to, actual real bands. Now only 50% is going to. An AI, it's not, can't copyright, can't content ID it if it's AI. And so anyone can. And so these things, the music stations here. This one is space and focus work stuff. They use Stable Diffusion or Midjourney to create a bunch of scenes, and then say, give me a 20-minute long lo-fi, ambient space music. It drums a brand new one up out of thin air. Boom. They put 3 of them together, get an hour-long video. There's zillions of them, and they're really good. They're really good. Anyway, let's hit the great comment machine, see if anyone actually... Come on, guys. We's here for you. Let's know. There's a couple viewers on. Welcome, ex-viewers. Let's hit this button here and see what happens. 6 people watching on X. Thank you very much for everybody watching on X. It's not apparent on X that if you go to the broadcast screen, there's also a comment section, very much like YouTube and Rumble and stuff. Anyway, we're watching Bitcoin. I'm sticking around on the air because I want to see if Bitcoin falls into this little 5-minute trap here and breaks out. Like I said earlier, this is the 5-minute chart here. Got a little hidden bullish divergence on the... where the hell did I go here? You can see it on this one. This is the RSI right here. If you're on your phone, I'm sorry. Just can't see it that well. And I know 60% of you watch our show on the phone. At least on YouTube. On Rumble, it's more desktop, strangely enough. The RSI, the lower the higher lows of the RSI going up. Price action, the lower lows. That means hidden bullish divergence. It means there's a divergence in price action versus the relative strength. It's your indicator that, well, the indicator that I'm using that is, I believe is the most popular one to check for divergences on this. I may be wrong on that. It might be stochastics, but no, Bitcoin is moving back up a little bit here. Let's go to the other page so we can see this better. But what I've been watching here is this 5-minute chart to see if we would break out of this wedge here according to the plan, which was because of this bullish divergence that it would break out to the upside. And when they did that, when it would get ready to do that, it would put a little long on and make a little bit of money. We shall see. Welcome, ex-viewers, says Striking. Been a quiet afternoon, you peoples. All the regular suspects are not here. For a while, I thought that the stream was on private or unlisted. Nope. Today a holiday? Nope. Just November 17th. Anyway, let's look at some other time frames here on Bitcoin to see if it shows something that I'm missing. Let's look at the 4-hour chart here. In case you're wondering what I have drawn on here, I always keep one chart like this, where I have the days of the week. Monday, Tuesday, I don't have them right at all. They get all jacked up there. Oh, because this is the 4-hour chart. Idiot. Let me fix my days of the week here. All right, sorry about that. Go back to the 4-hour chart here. I keep the days of the week here so you can find your time to trade. We're outside of the time to trade, really. The best time to trade is in the morning session of New York, because that's when the New York session and London session overlap, and that's historically the time that the most money is in the market. The more money in the market, the more liquidity, the better the market moves. Smaller players are not able to influence, manipulate the market so much. So you're not going to go in and get rug pulled by a market maker in Switzerland when all of New York and all of London is trading. Anyway, the 4-hour chart is kind of mirroring what's going on with what I drew in the 5-minute chart. Going down below all the moving averages. The 4-hour chart says going lower. Seller volumes. There's demand wicks. Not big enough, though, to show support. But the 4-hour chart for sure is agreeing with Pedro. Let's look at the 1-hour chart. The 1-hour chart. See, it's showing a little. Also, you're starting to see the bullish divergence starting here. The RSI is this is still drawn to the 5-minute chart, but it would be a slightly, if the price does not decline here in the next 5 minutes, 7 minutes left in the trading hour. Price hangs on and goes up a little bit, we'll have hidden bullish divergence on the 1 hour, and that's very bullish. It's very bullish when that happens. I don't mean long term. I just mean in the next, next cycle of where pricing is going. 15-minute chart. Same thing. You have the looks almost like the 5-minute chart. Everything's below all the moving averages. Moving averages are saying things are going lower. It's not really obeying any of the. It's not tracking the 8-period moving average. There are seller wicks here, so that's saying the price is going down more. Which, frankly, it could stay in this trend all the way down to, under 92,000 before it breaks out. Let's go back to the 5-minute chart. I guess this is good practice for me, even though Pedro's not here. Talking it through with all of you on here makes sense. Remember, if you're watching, I see those viewership numbers changing, going up and down. Drop us a comment. We're actually a live show here. Not pre-recorded, fake live. Crypto Mike is here. Mike, I didn't see your comment. You say, I didn't know that. Which topic? Which topic is I didn't know that? Frankly, Mike. Frankly? Mike, I've been waiting for you so you could drop the striking and striking emojis. Welcome, Crypto Mike, to the show. I do the O Canada, but it's not working. Canada just had. Let's see, Canada. Let's see, who won the Grey Cup this year? Champions. The Saskatchewan Roughriders. They have not. Oh, last one in 2025. Sarnia has hosted it. How about that? Fans flood downtown Regina after Rough Riders win Grey Cup. Anyway, I brought that up because, Mike, I was supposed to have Lucas Matheson from Coinbase Canada on, and on the show. I was going to interview him in person, but his PR people said not enough time. He's traveling a lot, and call us in the future. And I see Lucas at events now and then, so I'll try and nail him down at some other point. But I on all over the social medias, I saw him quite busy, and then the other day I saw him. I guess it was yesterday. I saw him online. He was with Prime Minister Carney on the field. Coinbase was the big sponsor, so he got to do the coin flip at the beginning, and so DYOR Live got punted in the literal sense of the athletic word in football. We got punted to meet with the Prime Minister and sponsor the Grey Cup. Oh, well. Mike posts, I was talking about something. Mike posts, I didn't know that. And I didn't see his post, and so I don't know what he was referring to. So I said, Mike, what are you talking about? And then he says, I forget. So we're both getting old. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we've got the emojis up here. You got me and Pedro. You got Trump. And Trump finally figured out how to do the emote section here. And I'm gonna try and figure out now how to get them for like how long you've been subscribed to the show. Yada yada yada. Yeah, the Grey Cup was in Winnipeg yesterday. And I still don't know, I forget. Getting old. Getting old. It was when I was talking about hidden bullish divergence, like price action going down, but RSI going up. That might have been it. I don't know why this is not updating auto magically. Anyway, kind of sitting around here on the air. It's coming to the end of the show here, but I'm in no hurry to do anything. Although I do have to get the oil changed in the old car. Really want this to play out according to plan here. The plan I want to play out is the monthly plan. We're still down this week. We take out the lows Pedro was talking about. Grab all that institutional liquidity, and then next week fire back up. If you Canadians, let me rephrase that. If you non-Canadians, the Grey Cup is Canada's version of the Super Bowl. It's the conclusion of their season of the Canadian Football League. Big deal. Canadian Football League's been really popular lately. They've put a lot of money into redoing the stadiums. Ottawa has a beautiful new stadium in downtown Ottawa. Where did that list just go? Grey Cup appearances. The Saskatchewan Roughriders just won. And they've won it 5 times over the past, we'll go 100 years or so. But the last time they won was yesterday. The Toronto Argonauts have won the most. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers have appeared in the most Grey Cups. 29. Last one in 2021. See, you learn something new every day, Mike. Chart back up. What were the other? I think I had 1 or 2 more news things that I didn't go over. Mike, I don't know if you saw this news. That the whole thing about strategy selling Bitcoin was a coordinated fake social media campaign to influence Polymarket, and guys made 10x their money. Their money. Let's see. Talked about stablecoins and Circle. Le Mexi chart. Mike says, how about any cool crypto news? Yeah, that was it. The Polymarket one was the cool crypto news. But this is also a good article because many people don't understand this. 95% of all Bitcoin is now mined and in circulation. Maybe being held. But only 5% of it's left to mine. Significant moment came recently when Antpool mined block at 923,999, earning Bitcoin's Coinbase reward containing the 19,950,000th BTC. Tens of thousands of nodes around the world enforce a hard cap 21 million coin limit on BTC supply. Apparently the precise number is actually slightly less. Although anomalous inflation bugs during Bitcoin's early years have momentarily threatened to increase the supply, the network has matured and the community is strongly committed this time to maintaining the 21 million cap. Starting at 50, I think this article is written by AI and not well. Starting at 50 BTC per block reward when the network started operating in 2009. Imagine that, 50 BTC, and it happens every 10 minutes. Having cycle decreasing over the current 95% figure of mined BTC supply will increase to 99% by the year. Will increase to 99% by the year 2035. Then it'll take from 2035 until 2140, over 100 years to mine the final 1%. How interesting is that? You were in the last, oh right, you were in the last 5 Grey Cups. And then this year when you hosted, you're not in it. Wah, wah, wah. I thought that article was really cool about that. People forget how actually mature Bitcoin is. Where's that other article? That's the fake news article. Verdes lets crypto users purchase citizenship. Yeah, one of the upcoming guests, her name is Electra. She participates in something called the network country or something. I can't remember what it is. And they call themselves a sovereign nation, not based on land, but based on companies and development and operating in the Bitcoin ecosphere. Don't know what you mean by 11 years. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm only going to stick with this the show a few more minutes here because I'm watching the 5-minute chart here. As you can see, it's in a descending wedge, getting ready for a breakout. The RSI is higher lows on the RSI. Price action is lower lows, which is telling me that's a bullish breakout coming. And the price has been going down pretty fast. Bitcoin has been out since 2009. Since 2009, what was it, January 3rd, 2009 when it launched? I mean, to think that 2009 was 16 years ago. I mean, my God. I was a much younger version of myself, 2009. I would have been 41 years old back then. Jesus. Where do the years go? Where do the gray hairs come here? Let's re-rack the trade wave app here. I don't know if you know, Pedro put in another trade in the trade wave. MicroStrategy planned at gonna buy it at 204. Wait, did it hit his price? It did hit his price. It hit his price. Wonder if he's going to take the trade. I was in my 20s. I don't even remember my 20s. Don't even remember them. Let's see. I turned 30 in 98. Yeah, I remember. Now I remember him where I worked. Working in Cincinnati. Was on wife number 1. Not 3. Number 1. And I was working for a really good company, building armored vehicles. And I covered Los Angeles area, which essentially was the export market for Asia, the Philippines, and export to Mexico. Great market. Sold a ton of vehicles. Company was growing like crazy, went public, all this kind of stuff, turned into a big defense company, and then sold, and party was over. But I lost a lot of my 20s because of that first fight. Well, I lost a lot of my 20s because of personal reasons and the shenanigans that go on with the, not being with the right person in your life. It was somewhat of a disaster. 2009, I was getting ready to go to Afghanistan. I wonder if we were there at the same time. What years were you there? I was there in I guess 2010. To be honest, I don't remember if it was 2010 or 2011. I think it's 2010. Must have been 2010. Yeah. What an awful place that was. Just awful. And I wasn't even a soldier. I was just there for work. Yeah, you know what? I was there in December of 2010. So you left before I got there. And I was just in Kabul. With my security friend Patrick and the company he worked for. Gotta tell you, I still take things that I learned that I was there for a week. It was one of the most, it was awful, but one of the most exciting weeks of my life. I mean, the stories could go on forever. I mean, the Russian pilots that were staying in the same kind of hotel / Airbnb. Yeah, the burning garbage smell. Yeah, I remember getting there, driving from the airport. Friend Patrick picked me up. I'm looking around. I'm like, there's no trees or vegetation or anything. I mean, in lots of stumps. It wasn't like you moved into the desert. They're like, oh yeah, they just cut down everything and burned it. Just cut everything down. It looked like a barren wasteland, like you landed on the on the junkyard side of the moon, like when we can't see the other part of the moon. That's because on the back side of the moon isn't that dark side of the moon. It's actually Kabul. But man, I stayed in a place where this lady from Serbia or Croatia or one of those places ran this. We'll just call it a B&B, but she cooked for us, and a bunch of the French embassy people lived there. And the amount of times that the security guard at the front gate pointed his AK-47 at me is no less than 20. And I don't mean intentionally, like, who goes there? I mean this, like, crossing the barrel in front of me or just standing there with it pointing and his hands, like, down near the trigger, and I'm like, I'm doing the Matrix dance, like, whoa! They never saw such lax security and safety training for people that have been fighting and shooting forever. I'm like, how do you, I talk to my friend Patrick, I'm like, Patrick, why don't you, as not everybody shot here from guys, if the guy sneezed, they would have shot me. Sorry. Oh, sorry, my good friend, sorry. It's all right, Abdul. Then one of the best things was the bar, because it's a strict Muslim country, but you can't have all these Westerners without having a bar. The bar was called Lay Atmosphere, and half of it's outside, and there's a wall, so you can hear it. You can hear the murmur of it. But then the front door is like nondescript, just kind of a bouncer guy there, like a family member sitting on his front porch. And you walk in the front door, and it's literally someone's living room. Dude laying on the bed. Another guy watching TV. And then the door's closed. Another closet opens, you check your weapons. No weapons in the bar. Check your weapon in the box. It's a big, look like a giant poster box. You take the key. And then the closet door opens, you open it, and you walk into this massive bar with an huge outdoor area and a band's playing. No one will know it's here. It's the funniest thing. And then you go in there and the Westerners are just getting hammered. Oh, that was a fun time. Come out, get our guns, put it back in, get in the car, drive back, get stopped by a roving patrol. Thankfully, my friend Patrick had the ISF patch on his arm or something like that. So they just, as soon as they leaned into the car, they're like, whatever, dudes, just go. Don't kill yourselves. But that part was so much fun. The part that was not fun was the compound a couple over from ours getting attacked. Hearing the gunfire cook off in the middle of the night. You're like, That was the first time in a long time I had slept in my work boots and my steel toe boots. Everything was packed, ready to go. I'm in bed. Even got my coat on. Got everything. In case you need to go, you go. I saw a dude walking back to our camp, an A&A guy dragging an RPG on the ground. By the strap, huh? Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for hanging out with Mike and I here. I'm sticking on the air a little bit longer, just seeing if the market is going to do what I want. As you may suspect, trying to get the hours done early this month that we have to do. Let's change the music up here. This has been in my ear too long. Let's move that. What we're looking for here is a breakout here on the 5-minute chart here. Trying to pick the spot where to go long. I kind of think it's gonna just under this spot right where we are now is where it's gonna start making the turn. Pedro says it's gonna come down much further before it really turns. And by breakout, I don't mean, busting back up through the 200 period moving average. It could be, it could be just up to the 200 period and then get rejected from it. I mean, but it'd be a good way to make a nice little scalp here. And make us some monies. I'm making the monies. There's the noise again. Mike, when we would fly, I don't know how you flew in and out of the country, but I had to fly commercial. And a lot of military guys would fly commercial, at least the American ones, leaving. And we'd be in line to get your exit stamp to get out, and they'd just randomly pick people to be interviewed in the back. which meant solicit bribes. Like if you had anything, like you just look like a poor broke-ass soldier, we're not interested in you. If you look like a wealthy contractor, they're very. And so my contact said, when you go through security, look like, you know, the dirt devil. You know, don't look good. You know, travel practically. You know, it's Afghanistan. The Kabul airport could come under attack at any moment. And so I did. They still picked me out. And the guy basically said, oh yes, your passport not in order. Fine. Not it's fine, meaning fine like money. And I was like, my friend told me what to say. Just say, nope, it's in order. Feel free to get your superior. I'd like to contact the embassy. And then as soon as you say that, they're just like, not getting any easy money out of this guy. Okay, no, it's in order now. Okay, next. C-130. 4 fans of freedom, baby. So we call the C-130. 4 fans of freedom. For those of you that don't know, the C-130 is a propeller cargo plane that the U.S. and many militaries around the world use. Has 4 engines in it, 4 propellers. So they call it the 4 fans of freedom. My brother-in-law really enjoys that. And his good friend Sam was a C-130 pilot for the Air Force. As he says, Swamp Creature Chris says, the Air Force is a good company to work for. Chris was in the Army, that's why he says that. But military plane doing a combat landing. We just came in on, what did I fly? How did I get there? I think it was just an Emirates flight or an Etihad flight out of Abu Dhabi. A lot of people transited into Afghanistan from the UAE because there was a consulate, an Afghanistan consulate in Abu Dhabi. Well, I don't know if it was in Abu Dhabi or Dubai, but it's in the UAE. And so you'd see everyone, the whole line of people, wearing kind of tactical pants, kind of like your cargo pants of some sort. Everyone except me with this giant contractor-like shoulders and stuff like that, and beards galore. I was like, what's going on in this line here? It's like all the retired Delta SEAL guys are all in this line. It's pretty funny. But you go in, you get pay your monies, get your visa. Bitcoin dropping again here, 92,180, ladies and gentlemen. It's kind of doing what we thought, falling into this groove here. It's getting ready for a breakout. Which way is it going to go? The bullish divergences are still saying it's going to break out of here and go up soon. Yep, you're listening to it. That's how we got home for HLTA. I don't know what that means. Went to the Emirates Mall. I miss the UAE. I lived there. I lived and worked there. I really enjoyed it. It was great for business because everybody in my industry was there. Afghanistan was going on. Libya was a disaster. Lebanon was a mess. It was great. It was great for business. I miss that world. My buddy Eve and we'd go to Lebanon and go to Beirut. Oh man, did we have fun there. That's a great place. It was before it got blown up by its own docks. Let's check the... still, we only had 6 people watching us. Let's see if we can get another ad read here. Oh, it's like our break in the middle of a tour. Yeah, I would see that. I hung out with a couple of Americans that had friends that came back and they didn't bother going back to the States. They just went to Dubai. Let's see. It's going to be time to read an ad here, I bet. Let's see if it gives us a good one. say you stick to the exact script. I'm like, I'm not gonna read any of these. These are all crap. There's blackout coffee. We need a few more viewers and we can get blackout coffee. All right, I'm gonna skip the ad. Thanks everyone that's watching right now. We're past our time. Pedro was on earlier today, about 2 hours ago, but I've been sitting here carrying on. But trying to see a potential trade here. I'm gonna try and start doing more of this, setting up trades on the show, because I've been learning. I had to take some, like I said, I had to take some time off from doing this because of personal reasons in September. Threw me out of the whole loop. I was in a couple of different classes too, and had to discontinue those. I need a haircut. But Pedro is gonna be limited on time for the time being. And then just to remind everybody, I'm doing this as part of a learning experience. I'm not by any means a professional trader or anything like that. As such, as always with all of these internet things, let's just run that. How about that? Let's run the banner. This is an education video and not financial advice. Nothing herein has been reviewed or approved by any competent authority at all. It's your money. Do what you want with it, not what I say. And to say, if you do what I tell you to do, you'll go bankrupt and lose all your money. Your spouse will kick you out of the house. You will lose your house. You will live under a bridge. If you're lucky. That isn't a get out of jail thing. Pushing on the this is the spot market price that I'm watching this chart. 92.103. Interestingly enough, the relative strength is not getting worse. This is making this hidden bullish divergence even stronger. It's gonna pop here, ladies and gentlemen. It's gonna pop. This is taking a little bit longer than planned. I did say that it would possibly come out near 3 o'clock or so. It's looking like it's getting ready. Here, let's switch back to the main view here and see what's going on. Bitcoin ready to break the 92,000. Ethereum ready to break 3,000. BNB holding, but a lot of tokens right at kind of key points here. Dogecoin actually doing. Tron is up today. Tron has been moving opposite the markets. Let's just bring up BTC directly here and query that by itself. Dropping under 100,000. I had to. Probably getting sick of that noise now, aren't you, Mike? Bitcoin tanking, everyone. Striking says, BTC tanking, everyone. 76 Norton, welcome to the house. Thanks for joining us, really appreciate it. BTC going bye-bye. I don't know when you joined us, 76, but thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it, as always. Pedro was on the first part of the show. And just for programming notes, he will only be in the 12 to 12:30 section of the show for at least the rest of this week until he gets his winter schedule kind of normalized. And so we went back to doing Cinco de Pedro, 5 minutes. I know I abbreviate that. Instead of Cinco de Mayo for the 5th of May, I say Cinco de Pedro, the 5th of Pedro. Since then, I've been just talking about Bitcoin, the news, that kind of stuff, bullshitting with Crypto Mike about Afghanistan, and listening to the thunder from down under. With Bitcoin tanking, as they say. You know, I was watching another streamer. It wasn't Sam, Crypto Lifer, who I usually watch. It was another guy. And he mentioned something, he's been trading 20 years or whatever, mentioned something that I realized only a few weeks ago here about candles. And he's like, he just came right out and said, he goes, I don't care what the price is. The price doesn't mean anything to me. He said, I just want to see the candle form in the time frame that I'm trading. He said, that's all. And he said, he pointed to his charts. You can have all these strategies. You can have all these things. You can fair value gaps, VWAPs, this, that, wappy, that kind of stuff. He goes, once I learned to stop worrying about price and just started trading the candles, he said, then I became very profitable. He said, then I would know that in the higher times, same thing that I said, you know, in the higher time frames, especially because they're more reliable. Candles have to form their supply wicks, the body, and the demand wicks. Open, low, high, close. Open, high, low, close. They have to do it. And you won't make money on all the candles, but the ones you can predict or watch form and say these things still need to happen, you can make money doing that. And when he said that, I was like, that's what I kind of the come to Jesus moment I had. Pedro was like this. Finally got through to Mr. Herlihy here. All right, everybody. Bitcoin is getting close. It's getting close. I know I'm going on forever and just talking about the same thing, which is essentially nothing. But thanks to everyone watching on YouTube. I see a couple of you over there. Drop a comment or two. Really appreciate it. It's an interactive show. We're getting ready. We're seeing if this wedge is going to break out here. Note, I'm not a professional trader or anything like that. Just seeing if the learning that I've been doing pays off. And if it comes, if it begins its breakout, I should just buy now, but with the market so weak, it literally could wick down to 85. XRP, El No Loco Goodo. That's for sure. That's my Spanish. Oh, where is that? XRP USDT. Pedro and I didn't talk about this today, so I might not have a good read on it. It's not. I might have too many trading view things open here. I think I do. Waiting for the Black Friday TradingView super sale. Oh, do not buy. No, yeah. No, Pedro and I have been talking about earlier in the show that Pedro has levels all the way down to 85,000 and 75,000 too. What I'm talking about is just a short-term scalp as a result of a descending wedge like this with hidden bullish divergence. There needs to be a little bit of an uptrend. It doesn't need to be. I mean, probabilities say that we'll have a little breakout pump from this, but still, you know, when you look at you look at the daily chart, you look at the 4-hour chart, it's still showing down. But the 1-hour chart is starting to shape up into with the same hidden bullish divergence. Finally broken under 92,000. Let's go back to XRP. No. XRP, this is a 5-minute. Let's go back. Let's look at the 4-hour chart for XRP. People are going to sell their XRP because a lot of people wrote it all the way up to 3 point whatever. Big today. Past 2 candles, 4-hour candles, have been just similar to the markets here. It's kind of following that 8-hour moving average. Trying to break through the 21 there, but nope. Like everyone, we had a little pump this morning, but rejected, dumping. This is a key spot here. I'm sure you already know that, but the $2.10. God, then after $2.10, holy shit. Oh, that's that strange wick. Let's not worry about that. After $2.10, Pedro would be calling $1.95. And after that, probably $1.71. Yeah, this is just... It's going, eh? Sorry if this is loud, but it cues me. I'll turn it down so it's not so loud. It's just... That should lower the volume of that a little bit. XRP not looking good. If it breaks down, this is obviously this area right here, the $2 area, the $1.96, $1.98 area, all the way up to where they are right now is a key area for XRP. If it can, you know, there's a lot of trades in this area. If I had the other thing on the chart open, it would show a big node right here, lots of volume at this price level. If it breaks below it, there's not a lot holding on to it, and people are going to panic sell that shit. A lot of people heavy DCA after that got in at in the $3 range. A lot of people bought there in this dumpy mode here. It's going back. It's going to $5. The Twitter news that XRP was going to $5 was so thick. It was so thick you could swim on it. And they faked you out here in after that in August. And then they just started draining the market. And Ripple went on a buying spree, so that means they needed their foundation money. They weren't reinvesting. They were selling. XRP is the best buy you will ever find. I will agree with that to the point of that I missed out on its appreciation from 50 cents to 3.50. I will not agree with you on the future of it. Because Ripple, and I've covered, I don't know if you've listened to the show when I've covered Ripple talking about their corporate strategy. Their corporate strategy going forward really has little to do with XRP at all. They finally came to the same conclusion that I did early on, that they can't make the money they need to from the Ripple ledger. The transaction costs are, they just can't get enough business unless they got like the US government or the EU or somebody like that using it to settle their currency, which is never going to happen. And their transaction level is not. And just the other day, I did a part of a show about XRP. And in fact, I was talking about this with Pedro, we talked about XRP just turning into a regular finance company. Another big Wall Street fintech finance company. It's been buying stuff in the crypto sphere, or kind of digital blockchain asset sphere, but it's also been buying a lot of companies in the regular finance world. And then sure enough, an article comes out about Brad Garlinghouse sees the future of Ripple as just a regular finance company, which means that they'll go public, and the public shares will not have anything to do with the XRP price. They'll be separate. And they'll kind of give, because the main company will be poised to be a multi-billion-dollar financial company like Schwab or like anybody else. And the XRP will be, they'll basically say, well, the foundation's managing it. As soon as they come out and say, well, it's really up to the foundation, then you know it's done. Just wait. Remember, I told you, don't say never. To be honest, I've poo-pooed Ripple for so long. And I did because I saw this coming, where they would have to pivot into a big company. Because I remember going through, trying to figure out the company. And one of the ways you go figure out companies, go look at their careers board, see what they're hiring. And they were hiring massive amounts of expensive engineers. I mean, people that they were paying $200,000 for to do blockchain work, you know, with all kinds of benefits, all kinds of this and that. And it was very expensive. It's very expensive for them to do that. Ah, the doggy's back. All right. Somehow I muted myself. Don't know how I did that. How long was I on mute? Now this is going down, 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 down. I'm sure the articles tomorrow will be like, massive liquidations, oh my god, doom, gloom, money outflows out of the ETFs, oh, ah. Actually, we can probably see that already. Let's go to the Decrypt News. Bitcoin just erased all of its 2025 gains. And the picture remains fragile, says Analyst. Bitcoin erased all of its 25 gains, dipping below the $93,000 mark. Now it's dipped below 92. And once Bitcoin has recently traded 90, yada, yada, yada. These AR articles are all the same. And then you have, see, this is typical. Tom Lee calls her 100x Ethereum supercycle. Literally, the guy said calling for a 100x in Ethereum. Come on, man. Why would they? Oh, it's because he's buying it. So he's just pumped. He's a shill. White House reviews proposed IRS rule to tax Americans' foreign crypto accounts. What do you mean? Where do they have to pay taxes on everything? White House is reviewing Treasury's proposed rules to join the global crypto asset reporting framework, which would let the IRS access Americans' foreign crypto account data. CARF, already adopted by most G7 nations and major crypto hubs, aims to curb offshore tax evasion through automatic information sharing. I can't, if you make money in crypto, you have to pay your taxes. It doesn't matter what jurisdiction you're in. You can't say nobody will find this. Remember, the blockchains are forever, and you'll slip up once, and you'll link a wallet to something, and then all of a sudden the IRS is going to say that was intentional. It wasn't an accident. You're hiding money, and they'll find the shit out of you, way more than you would have paid in taxes. Just pay your taxes, and don't waste your time on doing these things. If you want to waste your time, call your congressman and say these should be all capital gains, short-term capital gains. The short-term rate should be low like the long-term capital rate. Bitcoin's still tanking here. Little bit of a green. Look at little demand candle there coming up. Look at that. Might be the impetus for what we need here. Yeah, could be seeing a change in structure here. Obviously, for a breakout needed to happen, needs to come up above this 8-period moving average. 21-period moving average is right there too. Needs to break through all of those. Just as I say that, sell off. It just keeps going, non-ending. Bitcoin on spot market traded as low as 91.5 here 10 minutes ago. Not even 10 minutes ago. 5 minutes ago. All right, let's zoom out a little bit to look at this thing a little better. Let's see if I can do this right here. Well, 76 Norton, and if you notice the emoji section of the chat board here, I've added a few things. This one, the woman in red, is she's wearing a Bitcoin outfit, watching the ceiling, or watching the sky as the Bitcoin candles fall on her. Those would be the red candles. It's from the show the other day. Let's see, where is it? Which show was it? This one, Red Candle BTC. Time to buy? Thank God we said no, it was not time to buy, because that show was last week and the price was much higher. Somebody really like yesterday's show, or not yesterday's show, Monday's show. BTC blasts 95K. Is that the time to buy? Nope. You gotta love the AI thing. I just said a red candle, financial candle, ripping the street apart as it falls from the sky with signs saying 95,000, and it shows there's a guy getting blown up there. Looks like he's lost a leg. But we have a host of other ones here. Bitcoin, Tether, Ethereum versions. All ones that have appeared on my thumbnails. Oh, let's see. Well, that we could have a swing low here. Nope, maybe not. Price needs to go up a little bit. 85,000, no. So, what are you thinking? 75,000? Like Pedro? Pedro drew out some 75,000 possibilities today. It does make a good case for it, though. I mean, and I repeat this one too. Like, if you were a financial firm or a market maker or a big bank or something that's getting in the crypto market, and you wanted to double your money in this market, which would you rather do? Invest at 100,000 and double it at 200,000, or invest it at 50,000, or let's just say 75,000, and get your doubling your money when it's at 150,000? Takes far less money overall in the market to to give you 100% return. All right, we got 26 seconds left in this 5 minutes. Let's see if we form a swing low here. So far we have. Just trying not to. 12 seconds left. Now, it's not looking good. It's not. Come on, man. This is how you know if it. Sorry about that, everyone. The battery is dead on my mic, and this is a good time to say adios, muchachos. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining, everyone. 76 Norton, thanks. To all our new viewers out there, thank you, really appreciate it. My mic's gonna die at any moment now, so I gotta get going. Have a great day, everybody. We'll be here at 12 tomorrow for another Cinco de Pedro with Pedro Garcia, the crypto chart analyst. We'll see you tomorrow, so be there.